Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Marcin Armory. Today I would like to invite you to my first project, which is going to be making a Spanish smallsword. For those of you that don't know, a Spanish smallsword is a kind of transition smallsword between cord smallsword that was being used for dueling and a rapier. So between the rapier and the cord smallsword, we're going to have a Spanish smallsword. It is very similar to smallsword in the later period and to the rapier. Many of them have a kind of cap or a sail guard, but we already have a knuckle bow and the cross guard is getting a much smaller. We're going to start by making the guard. For that purpose we're going to use an empty half sphere, and it's going to probably be very hard for you to see on the video, so I'll try to make it closer to camera. I've got drawn lines on the sphere, and everything below that line is going to be removed. So I'm aiming to make a kind of sail guard, and for that purpose everything over here is going to be removed. So it's going, I hope so, to round out like this, not like a circle. Let's get to it.
Look, I am your father. Okay, so we've got most of the material removed. That's all that we can do with the grinding machine, and the rest of the parts we're going to file down by hand. I'm sorry that I'm keeping my mask on, but there's still a lot of debris in the air and I don't have a very good airflow in the workshop. So we're going to take a file and remove all the excessive material. I got a problem how to show it to you. Ah, there it is. That's over here with a hand file.
I really love working with the Rotary tool like this one. This is a Fordham flex shaft, but it got one major problem. It generates a huge amount of steel splinters, and they puncture your glove and they stick into your hand. Let me show you. Look, all this around here are the tiny particles of steel, and the Rotary tool, which is over here, it moves with such a speed that the splinter is piercing your glove, it sticks to your hand, and then I end up with digging up them from my skin for another week or two. So it removes the steel in great speed, although you have to be careful with it because it can bounce off the material or dig too deep. But overall it's a great tool, and if you have an opportunity to buy it, go for it. You won't regret it, but remember above your eye protection, and remember that you're going to dig a lot of splinters from your hand. Okay, we've got most of the job done. In order to work on the end of the guard, of the hilt, we need to put a hole inside so that we can stick it on, screw it, and it will hold while we will be working on the ends. So we drill a hole for the tank, and so that we can work on the hilt further on. And most of it is done. Look at it from the side. Something like that. So it is more or less kind of a sail. It's definitely more rounded than I intended to, as you can see, and from over here, but it narrows and it is a little bit kind of sail shape. So last thing we've got to do before finishing it off is going to be just a basic polish, and I think we're done for the day after doing that. Great. You know what I did wrong? I haven't squared the hole for the tank. So now I've got the hilt that is already polished, but I need to file it for a square tank. And this is something that you should always do at the beginning, because now I will have a problem to mount the hilt to the vise, because I will need to use wood in order not to put the marks on the steel that is already finished with polishing. So I need to clamp the steel in the wood, then I will be able to file the square hole inside of it, so that I will be able to put the square tongue of the blade inside. Or we could do magic. Round hole for the tank. Abracadabra, lelum polelum, and square tongue it is. What? You think magic just happens like that? It needs time. Which reminds me, while we're awaiting for a square magic hall to appear, I would like to give thanks to our sponsor. Aramis Fencing School is probably the biggest school in Poland. If you're going to end up in one of the major cities inside our country, like Krakow, like Wrocław, or Breslau, like some people like to say, Łódź, Warsaw, or my city, which is Gdańsk and Gdynia, contact Aramis Fencing School for your private lesson. So, a little bit more on the next episode, and let's see what the magic elves did with our round hole. Is it square? Yes, it is! So, see you around on the next episode of Building Spanish Smallsword. Cheers!